Covering music-related content of all genres. If it filters through Eastern Texas, it's fair game. Y'all bring it. From Texarkana down to the coast and Dallas down to Houston and everything in between. We are ETX ROCKS! Thank you guys for listening to another episode of ETX ROCKS with Boston Chris. Before we get to our next guest this week, I just wanted to tell you about our sponsor for this episode. He is an award-winning author located right here in East Texas by the name of Edward Hancock II. Edward Hancock II writes the Mendez series of detective thrillers that are based right here in East Texas in the city of Longview. Edward likes to give that local feel that you can't get from novels that are written and based in big cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. If you're interested in looking up Edward Hancock and his great books, check out his webpage at edwardhancockii.com or go to his Facebook, which is facebook.com/author Edward Hancock II. Check out the Mendez series of detective thrillers written by Edward Hancock II.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to ETX ROCKS. Thank you. This episode is brought to you by award-winning author Edward Hancock II. And here's your host with another guest, Boston Chris.
Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new episode of the ETX ROCKS podcast with yours truly, Boston Chris. And we're sitting here at Neil's Guitars and More in Kilgore, Texas, which is located right there on North Longview Street. So if you're looking for guitars and things like that, make sure you come out and see Neil. And we're sitting here with Todd Freeman. Mr. Todd Freeman is an him and his band are an 8-time finalist for the 2016 East Texas Music Awards, which is unbelievable to me. 8 times. Could you believe that?
No, I'm thrilled. It's amazing.
Is this your first time nominated in
Yes.
the East Texas Music Awards? And so, I mean, you went from 4 years with 0 to the 5th year with 8.
Yeah, how did it happen?
That's pretty incredible stuff.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
And you know, we started doing fan questions recently, probably within the last 4 or 5 episodes.
Right.
And man, you got some fans out there, and they're all over the place, aren't they?
Got some great fans all over. Yeah, all over the United States, and even in Canada, Australia.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's pretty incredible. And you're born and raised in Jacksonville, Texas.
Correct. Yeah.
And so now you're known worldwide, and somehow.
Much. Yeah, somehow it's gotten out there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're sitting in East Texas, and East Texas music is growing, and it's starting to thrive. And you know, you're a huge member of that community as well. And I'm real impressed with your band because I think it's a 7-piece band, right?
Well, 8 counting our sound engineer.
Well, 8, yeah, including David. And so, I mean, we're talking about an 8-piece band, and I mean, you've got all the auxiliary, the pedal steel, the fiddle, you've got all of that. And if you haven't seen Todd Freeman and Bulletproof yet, before we get into the meat of this podcast, I got to tell y'all, you guys need to go. Because not only does, Todd is an incredible vocalist, but every single member of his band are top-of-the-notch musicians. So I guess my first question for you is, as a vocalist, how did you piece together this band?
Well, it's been a long process. I mean, I've been doing this for about 4 years now, so it's taken a lot of time to get these guys together. I've just it's been word of mouth and just, other musicians that I've hired, knowing other musicians, and over the period of time, we've got this great group of guys together.
And I know a lot of people might recognize your name, your face from, you do a lot of solo videos on Facebook that you use social media to get your voice out there. Did that start before the band concept?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
So the social media thing was a kind of a way for you to get yourself out there musically.
Right. In fact, that first song that nobody knows has been viewed 937,000 times now. That was the first one that really started getting my name.
And he did not typo that. That's 930,000 views on Facebook.
And been shared 37,000 times.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so that came out pre-Bulletproof.
Yes. Well, about the same time as Bulletproof came out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, was that your first video?
Yeah, pretty close to the first. There might have been 1 or 2 before that, but yeah, it's pretty close to the first one.
Well, I know everything you put out on Facebook. I mean, we're talking at least 5 digits in views. I mean,
yeah.
It's like, wow, I would kill for a video to be 5 digits. I mean, I put out a lot of videos. My best is like 3,200, and I'm proud of that. You know what I mean? And I mean, you put one out, and 4 hours later, you're at 10,000. I'm like, man, he makes it look so easy. Yeah. So you grew up in Jacksonville. You're still living there.
Correct.
And so you grew up herding cattle and riding horses?
Yeah, I had about 150 head of cows, 30 horses. Did a lot of riding and a little bit of roping and stuff like that. So I've always been out on the farm and stuff like that as a kid and even as an adult.
So you lived the cowboy life.
Oh yeah,
you have that background,
right.
and now
I'm completely out of it now. But yeah, I did it for a long time.
Yeah, it was probably all you ever knew.
Yeah.
So you guys had a farm out there in Jacksonville?
Yeah, actually it was on the other side of Palestine is where I'm from. We had about 400 acres out there.
Okay.
Where we run our cows and horses. We had some show horses also.
Is that out near Tennessee Colony?
Yeah, out that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Tennessee Colony. There's a prison out there. That's not how I know, though. Don't read into that.
Right.
So
just heard about it.
So you formed the band in 2012. Was this bred from your mind, or
yeah?
How did that? Did you run into somebody and say, "Hey, let's start a band"? Or
well, kind of. I started out as I wouldn't sing. I wouldn't sing in front of anybody. Wouldn't do anything. So, but I'd sing around the house and stuff like that. Everybody told me I could sing, but I, just wouldn't do it. And so, me and some buddies went out one night and they were doing some karaoke or stuff. So I started singing and got up and did that. And man, everybody, people were just going crazy about it. Right. So it just kind of took off from there. And then I did some contests and won some contests. And then, some of these clubs were like, "Do you have a band?" And I was like, "No, never even thought about it." So, so they were like, "Well, you put a band together, we'll hire you." So, as soon as I put a band together, I started having gigs just right off the bat.
Yeah, and it's funny how many artists here locally get their start somehow in karaoke.
Yeah, because I don't play an instrument, that was my kind of only the way to express.
Well, have you thought about learning an instrument?
Yeah, it has about to be there. It's crossed my mind and then went out real quick.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Just like, man, I could be in a band if I knew how to play an instrument.
Yeah, it would make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But
I'm just like, hey, if I find a band, I'll just bring a tambourine up there and I'll be good to go. I'll be like the male Tanya Tucker,
There you go.
Whatever. Sorry, Tanya. Yeah. We do want you on the show someday, so if you're listening, call me. No, actually, I'm hooked up with her publicist.
Oh, really?
And there's a PR company in Nashville. It's called Webster Promotions. And we did a show with Gene Watson recently through them. And we're fixing to do one with Mo Bandy through them. Oh, well, they have this roster of it's like an all-star country team, man. It's Hank Jr. and Dolly and Tanya and Randy Travis. And just like, man, I have an in there. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah, it is.
So, I'm hoping to get some of these names on the show.
Right.
You just never know.
Yeah, awesome.
So you said you have 8 members in Bulletproof. First of all, how'd you come up with the name Bulletproof?
Actually, the guys, we all just kind of pitched in some names and then just everybody voted on it. And that was
I'd love to hear some of the ones that didn't make it.
Yeah, there was some strange. I can't even remember now. So there was some pretty awful ones.
I bet. Oh man. So introduce your band. Tell us what they do. What do they bring to the band, both musically and personality-wise?
Okay. Well, we got a lot of talented guys. Of course, on the bass guitar we have John Wren, he's from Fort Worth, Texas, and he's played with a lot of good bands up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then we have Steve DeVries on the rhythm guitar and vocals, and he's a multi-player. He can play bass, he can play keyboards, a little bit of steel, harmonica. He's really talented. Then on the pedal steel we have Dickie Wood out of Springtown, which is up above Dallas, above Fort Worth, kind of northwest of Fort Worth. He's really good. Played with some really big name people and stuff. Ronnie Godfrey on drums. He's from White Oak. He's actually a middle school teacher over, and he's really good on the drums. And then our lead player is Tommy Thomas. He's from Whitesboro, Texas, and he's played with a lot of big bands up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And then our fiddle player is Choya Crenshaw, and he's a finalist this year. Right, and he's over in the Shreveport, Louisiana area. Wow, so really widespread. Yeah, we're all over the place. Do you guys practice? Yes, we do. How? We just all come together. It's just that's awesome. Yeah. It's almost like to find these guys, was it just word of mouth, or did you advertise? It's a little bit of both, word of mouth and some advertising, both. But yeah, because usually, you see a band get together. Maybe they went to church together, they went to school together, or maybe they ran into each other at a club. But
you guys are all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I mean, the concept of an 8-piece band is really cool, you know. And I mean, my girlfriend and I saw you at Leon's. That's the only time.
And then of course, our sound guy, you know, David Sessions. You know, he's remarkable on running sound for us, and you know, it's just.
And I mean, not only are all of these guys incredible musicians, and I mean, you can definitely during the show you can feel each portion of the band.
Right.
One way or another, it bleeds through to you.
Yeah.
And a lot of times something can overshadow something else, or that doesn't happen with Todd Freeman and Bulletproof.
No, I mean,
and the other really cool thing I like about your band is everybody in the band is so humble and so friendly.
Right. There's no egos.
Yeah, and it's
There's
like,
no
man,
egos in this band.
as soon as there was a break, you know, it was like everybody, oh, Boston, it's so good to see you. And I'm just like, wow, these guys are great, you know? I mean, you guys were really, really cool. And so, I mean, I can see why you're so popular and people are voting for you. And that, I mean, that's big.
We're a very humble bunch of guys. So,
So out of the 8 nominations you guys have, for you personally, which one's the most important, would you say?
I'd probably say the male vocalist probably would be the.
Yeah. And as a band, what do you think would be the most important?
Probably entertainer or the band of the year or whatever. Yeah.
And I mean, you guys are nominated in pretty much every big category that we have.
Right.
You guys didn't make it for Latin band this year, but there's always next year.
We're going to work on that for next year.
Okay, cool. You know, you just got to put some Latin metal punk out there.
We're going to say that for next year.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And get a female vocalist too.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to get 36 nominations,
right.
Just saying, you just never know.
That's right.
You know? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. So, you know, we're talking about you guys, you know, not overshadowing each other and things like that. That cohesion that you guys have on stage, was that just natural, or do you guys have to work on that?
No, that's just pretty much all comes natural. We just, you know, do what we feel, and you know, everybody knows what their parts are and what to do. I mean, it's just kind of a natural thing.
I mean, that's one of the first things you notice. I mean, if you have any kind of education musically, which I have very little, by the way.
Right.
And my girlfriend grew up with a pedal steel player, so
yeah.
she's got way more knowledge than I do, and she's teaching me a lot. But,
right.
You know, that's one thing you notice with Todd Freeman and Bulletproof is that instant chemistry you guys have on stage.
Yep.
Do you guys have a certain set list, a certain order, or do you guys mix it up? Or?
I mean, we try to go by, you know, a certain set list, but, you know, sometimes we have to mix it up a little bit. You know, we try to do what we feel.
And of course, you know, you have those rabid fans out there that want to hear certain songs too.
Yeah. So
you got to throw that in there.
Right.
Let me think here. So you're going on vacation.
Yeah, we're going to take a couple of days off this week.
I don't agree with that.
This is our last week off for the rest of the year. So.
Well, I mean, you play every Friday, every Saturday.
Right.
You're supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah. I think we've had about 3 weekends off for this whole year. So, I mean, it's going to be nice to have a little.
Well, I suppose you deserve it.
Right.
You guys are very hard working, and again, you know, you guys do play a lot of East Texas shows, but you play a lot of other places too. You know, Fort Worth, and I saw you guys played at Austin recently. I think.
We play in the Stockyards.
Yeah.
So, you know,
so I mean, as an artist, how difficult is it to get booked in places like that?
It's been kind of hard, but it's starting to get easier, you know, because people, you know who I am more so now, so it's getting a little easier.
So it's like just keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that's not for the weak-hearted.
And I know one thing that you also do is you'll reach out to your fans and say, hey, you know, if you want us in a certain area, go to your venue.
And that's the thing, because it's not so easy to get. I mean, like, you know, I have people all over, you know, come to Ohio, come to Kentucky. Well, it's not so easy just to call up someplace in Ohio or Kentucky and say, come play there.
Well, especially when you have 8 guys. Because
they're going to say, well, we don't know who Todd Freeman is. I mean, we never heard of him up in Kentucky. Or so, you know, but if those fans call and request us, then they know who we are, you know, and then.
I'll stick a couple of these fan questions in now.
Okay.
There were no embarrassing ones this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
I was man.
You was hoping for a couple.
Well, we had one with Darren, one with Toby, and they both wanted to know about their hair.
Oh.
Who does your hair? And Darren was like, I wake up this way. No. So, Liz Murphy Foster.
Right.
She wants to know, if you needed to relocate to Nashville to further your career, would you do it?
Absolutely. Yeah. No. Yeah. Whatever I have to do, I would do it. Yeah.
And do you think the whole band would be on board with that?
Probably not. But some of them would be, but probably not all of them. But yeah.
I think Nashville is. A lot of people think that's the natural step for a country artist.
Yeah.
what a lot of people don't realize is Texas country is almost bigger than Nashville country.
Right.
So, I mean, you can make a very good niche for yourself and a good career right here in Texas, just playing country music. I mean, I hear so many times, oh, we got to make it to Nashville. We got to go to Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, Nashville can be kind of a, hey, let's go to Nashville for a weekend and play.
Right. And it used to be a lot different back a long time ago. But
Right.
now, you know, with all the social media and all that kind of stuff, you know, you don't necessarily have to go there.
Yeah, and that has a big role in that for sure,
Right.
because you can get yourself out there on YouTube and Facebook and have a 1 million view video, you know, which is pretty hard to do on Facebook.
You
know, but I mean, you've got so many people driving that Todd Freeman train, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, and sharing and sharing and sharing again and sharing again.
Right.
And I mean, it just reaches a magnitude, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't need Nashville for that.
Right.
You really don't. Maybe in the 60s and the 70s, the 80s,
Yep.
you know, but Nashville's one of those towns that used to just eat you up and spit you out.
Right.
Now it's not needed, in my opinion.
Right.
And I mean, Texas has a very good system with their own music charts, their own country music charts, and a lot of radio here plays local artists and things like that.
Right.
So that definitely helps.
And Liz, I just want to say to Liz that, you know, she's a really great fan. That they live in New Jersey. They flew down here to come see one of our shows. So I mean, that was.
That's got to be pretty humbling for you.
Yeah, it is. And she told me today that she had booked another flight to come down and see us again in November. So
that is unbelievable.
So that's
really
cool. Yeah.
And does that happen a lot? I mean, it must. Right?
Not so much flying, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, we have some that, you know, that come from way off, you know, we'll drive.
And I know the folks here that are based in Texas, they'll follow you anywhere in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, like I saw Marla, I met Marla at Leon's, and I think the next weekend you guys were in Austin, and there's pictures of Marla in Austin with Todd Freeman. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
They'll drive 4, 5, 6 hours sometimes to come see us. You know?
They're right there in your, you know, exhaust fumes right behind you. You know what I mean? You got to check your bushes in the morning.
There you go.
No, not really. Well, speaking of Marla, Marla wants to know what's your biggest goal in the near future.
Just to get my name out there more, and just for more people to know who I am, and get out to, you know, more states. That's my main goal right now. Is just to play everywhere I can.
And would you say that the band is all on the same page as far as that goes?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're striving to you know, become.
Well, that's a good question. How do you get 8 people on the same page?
It's hard. But, you know, and that's what I say. We went through a lot of guys, but we've got a group of guys together now that are, you know, that are pretty much on
all
the same
pulling
page.
the rope the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Maybe a secondary question to this is, I had several people, probably 3 or 4 of them, that want to know how they, as a fan, can help you get your goals.
I would say the main thing to do is be, you know, calling these venues and places if they want us to come to their town, to call these places and request us. You know, the more them and their friends can call and request us, the more chance we have of coming to their town and playing there for them.
And another way you can do that too, if you can't make it out, or maybe you don't like to call, because I don't like the phone. I hate the phone. If it wasn't for Facebook, boy, I'd be in big trouble.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I don't like to talk to people. I just don't. Funny, because I'm a host of a podcast.
Yeah.
You know. But as far as phone goes, I can't handle it.
Right.
So I mean, some advice for your fans maybe is, you know, go to a venue's Facebook or their Twitter or whatever and message them.
Right.
Tag them and stuff.
not just once, but
keep
do it
doing
many times, and get their friends to do it, because the more people that do it, the more they're going to say, well, let's check out this Todd Freeman guy. Who is he? You know?
And then, you know, once they do book the band, make sure you're there and make sure you're pulling people with you, because, you know, if you push that to a venue and then the venue actually gives in and hires you, the fans have to support it even further by being there. Right. Otherwise, it'll be a one and done.
Exactly. And I think a lot of times fans don't realize that, you know, you've got to come to these shows, because that's what these club owners are expecting is these fans to show up and support these bands.
Right. And I mean, that's what the venues are doing. They're trying to build, you know, they don't want just the band, that particular band's fans there. I mean, that's helpful, but they're also trying to build their own regular audience, regardless of who the actor, entertainer is each week.
Correct.
And, you know, a lot of people need to realize that. You know, it's cool to try to push it and push it and push it, in social media or on the phone or even by mail or pigeon or whatever you got to do.
Right.
I said pigeon. But then show up.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the important thing.
up.
And make a lot of noise when you do show up.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. Make sure we know you're there.
Yep. I'm going to try to pronounce this name. You might be able to help me out. It's Cameron Council Nisley. Is that right?
Yep. That's another
Did I get it right?
fan. Yes.
Cool.
She's from Austin. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wants to know, where is Todd Freeman's favorite place to play?
I better not say that because that might make somebody mad.
Well, name a few. Name a few.
I like playing in the stockyards. I like some of those Dallas places are pretty good. The place down in Austin, Rebel Saloon in Austin, is a fun place.
And you guys just played there recently.
Not too long ago, yeah. So, it'd be hard to say a favorite place, but
have you guys opened for anybody?
The back porch is a great place.
That's pretty big.
Huh?
Have you guys opened for anybody?
We've opened for Casey Donahue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's a Texas country artist, right?
Yeah, we did that. We did a thing out at River Run.
Oh, cool.
For an open for him.
And he's a good example of somebody that is making a really good name for himself right here in Texas.
Right.
Ask Casey if he needs Nashville. I bet you he'll say
right.
Nashville.
Yep.
But there's dozens of them. You look at the charts.
Yep.
So I know you guys play mostly cover music.
Right. We got a few originals.
A lot of your fans want to know, when's the CD coming?
Man, I'm trying. I'm working on it. It's hopefully. I don't have a time frame yet, but hopefully, by the first of the year, I'm hoping or something like that, maybe.
First of the year, y'all hold them to that. Say, no more vacations, get to work.
That's right.
And it's, again, we had like at least 15 fan questions. They weren't all public. Some of them were private message to me because, but a lot of them was, when's the CD?
Right.
And a lot of them was, how can we help?
Yep.
And that's really cool.
Yep.
You have fans out there that love you so much that they will do anything to.
I've got the greatest fans in the world. It's crazy. My Facebook page is maxed out at 5,000.
Right.
And then I have.
And it took me forever to get on there. I just have to say that.
And then I have like 8,800 followers, and that grows, just every week. And
Right.
then on our band page, we have 9,000 likes on it. And it's
That's
just
awesome.
It's just constantly growing.
So if you added all those together, and there's probably some duplicates there, but that's 22,000 you reach right there.
Right.
And
growing every day.
Yet somehow you get a 900,000 video. So
Right.
it's not just your fans that are watching it.
Right.
On that video, I got to ask, when did you start getting excited about the numbers on that?
Well, it was funny because it was like it seemed like for a good while there it didn't get up. It was like 12,000 or something like that, and then all of a sudden one day it jumped like 100,000 in like just 1 or 2 days.
Wow.
And then after that it just kind of snowballed,
So was that like the whoa moment?
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
like, man, this may really do something.
Yeah.
And then even after it got up to 600,000 or 700,000, I never even thought then it might even get to 1 million. But now, there's no question.
Oh, it's going to.
It's easy going to get 1 million.
For sure.
So yeah.
That's just cool.
But the really cool thing I think about it is the 37,000 shares.
Yeah.
People sharing it actually on their Facebook page.
Right.
That's
Right.
even better than
I've
the views.
shared it a few times. I must admit. I won't lie.
Right.
All right, I gotta say, I know you have a lot of fans. The one that's reached out to me the most, and I would say you might agree, is probably your biggest fan, is Elaine Yates.
Absolutely, she is a huge fan. She lives up in Canada.
In Canada.
Yep.
And
she keeps her and Mahler keep that fan page just. But Elaine's.
When we started doing the finalist campaign for videos, I said
she's like a duck on a June bug.
Yeah. She somehow found out about it, and the next thing you know, she's in my inbox.
Right.
What does Todd have to do? I'll make him do it. I was like, who are you? Because she sends me a friend request and it says Canada, and I'm like,
yeah,
Canada.
Yeah.
But she made that video happen for sure.
She's awesome.
She has a great question, and I think you'll really like this actually because it's very true, and I think people notice it. When you sing, this is her words. When you sing, it's like you have lived the songs, whether you've written them or not. How do you prepare yourself to give them so much feeling?
I just try to, feel what I'm singing and try to just be, put myself into that, into the song.
There's so many different subjects. Is it just something that you put yourself?
Yeah, just some little something that maybe, triggered something to make me, feel that particular song. And I like to do songs that I feel a connection to.
Absolutely. And I mean, anybody should be that way. But I mean, there's always a disconnect when you're singing someone else's song, whether it's a popular song or
but
not.
A lot of times I can just put myself in that position.
That's really cool. So it's not something you've learned. It's just something that you do.
Right. It's just a natural thing for me.
That's cool. Yeah. I don't know who asked it. This was in a private message, but someone wanted to know if you'd ever gotten vocal lessons or anything like that.
No.
So I opened my mouth and started singing.
Right.
Got tired of roping cattle.
Yep.
I gots to get me out of Jacksonville.
That's right. Yep. I never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm certainly glad I pursued it.
So Marla also wants to know, what are your short-term goals to achieve, which she already asked, near future.
Yeah.
But also, what are your long-term goals?
Like I say, just to get my name out there and just to, play music everywhere I can.
Have you played CMA Fest yet?
No.
You need to make that happen.
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Right. Yeah. I need to.
Maybe I'll try to get a name for you.
Okay. Help me out.
See what I can do. Just never know.
Right.
I know a few people that have played out there, so someone must know somebody.
Exactly.
So, all right. This is not a question, but we got this several times from different people. Stephanie Blackwell.
Right.
She wants you to know how proud she is of you in the band. And we got that several times. I love the fact that we have so many fan questions.
She's a great fan, too. She comes to every show. She just hardly ever misses a show.
And, I mean, it's cool. You know their names.
Yeah.
You know where they're from.
Yep.
And that connection is important to them, I bet. But I know it's also important to you.
The fans are just what makes us. I mean, we're nothing without our fans.
Right.
Know? So it's unbelievable to have a group of fans that we have. It's just amazing. I can't imagine anybody having any better fans than we do.
I would have to agree. I mean, 22,000 reach. It's pretty cool. And growing every day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, probably lose track of it all.
Yeah.
And you still put these videos out at your, I'm assuming it's your house.
Right.
With the Todd Freeman banner in the background.
Yeah, it's just me
Is that just Todd Freeman can't get enough of music? Or?
Right, I just want to sing. So
you just want to sing.
Yeah. And so they enjoy it, and I put it out so these people that can't see me live can at least see it that way.
And have you ever, this is a little bit offbeat question, but it's something I'm curious about. Maybe other people aren't, but have you ever been approached by like BMI or ASCAP or anything about these videos on Facebook?
No.
I was just curious if that was a thing. I was just curious if it was a thing. I don't know if it is or not. But he doesn't sing anything on Facebook, if you're listening. It's all on Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah. So check out Todd Freeman on Twitter. No, not really. So Todd came with Steve DeVries as well, and Steve is your rhythm guitar and vocals. And say hi, Steve.
Hello.
Steve says hello. He looks like he's ready to go. Oh, never mind. Yeah, we're at the guitar shop here in Kilgore, Neil's Guitars and More. What you hear in the background is to me the legendary Rio Wallace teaching somebody. Rio is amazing, and if you haven't seen him, check him out on Facebook as well. Incredible musician. So, if you could give any advice to maybe younger people that want to get into the music business, what would you say? I mean, what's the best thing Todd Freeman could tell a kid?
Just go for your dreams and keep doing it. I mean, it's easy to give up in this business, but if it's what you want, you just got to keep plugging along and don't ever give up. Just keep putting your name out there and keep doing it.
And I mean, you are living, breathing proof that you can just put a video out on Facebook and touch the world.
Yep. And I don't know how it happened, but it happened for me. But I don't know that it can happen for everybody, but it happened for me.
It seems like you're very blessed. I mean,
yep, very blessed.
You see so many videos on Facebook that are just downright nonsense that are getting 15 million views.
Right.
Usually the stuff on Facebook that is really, really filled with content, nobody wants to watch.
Right.
And this is a perfect example of somebody's watching something with a lot of content, a great song that's been recorded, a couple of times, nobody knows, and just a great song.
Yep.
And you guys must perform that live.
We
too.
do. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, do you ever have people coming up to you saying, "Oh, you're that guy"?
Yeah, I have.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've had, I've gone in little stores and just in little towns, and people recognize who I am, and that's pretty cool too, because that's,
I never get used to that.
Yeah.
It happens to me too.
Yeah.
I'm no Todd Freeman, but I mean, I can't go to the store to get a pack of cigarettes without somebody saying, "You're Boston Chris."
Right.
Yep. Hi, how are you? And so you always have that public persona that you have to
Right.
cultivate, I guess is the best word, because you can't really have a temper, or you can't, or whatever. You always have to be positive when you're a
Right.
public persona.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's a cool feeling.
It's a bit of responsibility though,
Yeah.
and a lot of brain power,
Right.
because you can't let it down for an instant.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm learning because I have what they call the Barnes temper.
Oh yeah.
And my dad gave it to me, and I've been working all the time. I'm from Massachusetts, and they don't give us filters up there.
Oh.
You know how here in the South they have that filter between the brain and
Right.
the mouth?
Yep.
I don't have one of
You
those.
took yours out.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had one, Todd. I think it's just, and I'm trying to build an artificial one.
Right. It's not working.
No, especially when I play video games. Hey, you be quiet. So you're going on vacation. I think this will be out the first week of September, so you guys should be back then.
Yeah, we'll be in Dallas the first weekend.
So
September.
do you know the venues you'll be playing at out there?
Yeah, we'll be at the Neon Cowboy, September the 2nd and 3rd. And then the week after that, we're at the Ranch House in Saxe, Texas.
That's not the Jacksonville Neon Cowboy, is it?
No, it's in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the second one?
The Ranch House in Saxe, Texas.
Wow.
Yep.
How do you find these places? Do they find you?
A lot of times they find us, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So when do you book for yourself as well?
Sometimes I have somebody that books for me too, but I do a lot of the booking myself too.
So I mean, when you're searching for venues, how do you go about that? Is it just again word of mouth or?
Yeah, a lot of it's word of mouth. I mean, used to I'd have to look for some on my own, but now a lot of them are just coming to me, So.
And it makes it a lot easier, I bet. Especially when they know who you are, and you can just be like, yeah, this is what we charge, and usually, if you're big enough, they'll be like, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that makes it a lot nicer.
Yeah, no negotiation.
Right.
I've booked sometimes for a couple of local bands, and I don't have it that easy.
Really?
No, not quite. Yeah. I'm gonna have every one of my artists start singing "Nobody Knows."
There you go. That'll take care of it.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. So we got your advice for kids. I think we're pretty much done. Your parents and inspirations. What kind of inspirations do you have, both musically and non-musically?
Well, none of my family's played or sings or anything. That's the thing. I'm the only one in the whole family does anything with music, pretty much. So the first generation. Yeah. And
so
like
musically, do you have any people that you look up to or try to model yourself after?
Well, I mean, I'm more like I like the George Strait and the
I
Tracy
knew you were
Bird,
going to say that.
Conway Twitty. George Strait's the man to me. So,
yeah, I agree.
Can't get much
working on
better than
him
that.
too. Would it surprise you if I ever had him on this show?
It would.
It would me too. It really would. Are you a Gene Watson fan?
I am. Yep.
Yeah, I love Gene Watson.
Yep.
I got to talk with him. I'm really psyched. I'm still psyched about that. I fangirled over it after we hung up.
Yeah.
Because you know how you meet somebody that's a hero of yours.
You mean you're not going to be that way with me?
Of course. I did that before you got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't let
After
me down.
you, it's a cigarette. It's like, that was great. We've got into the craziness. I'm starting to feel like the Morning Madhouse. So yeah, I'm a huge Gene Watson fan, and I just messaged him on Facebook. That's how it all started.
Really?
I learned he was born in Palestine and grew up in Paris, Texas. I was like, hey, that's East Texas. That would work. So I called him. I messaged his Facebook, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but you cannot message Gene Watson on Facebook anymore. They turned it off.
Really?
That little whatever they do.
Yeah.
Like there used to be a message button. Now it's not there. I think I broke it.
Uh-oh. You messaged it so much that they had
No, it was just once. It was just once.
Okay.
But they responded and they were like, email this person. That's his PR person or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I sent him the same thing on email that I messaged. And he was like, yeah, let's set it up for this day. And I was like,
Really?
nice. And it just so happened we were going to the studio that day to record other episodes. So he called in, talked to him for like 30 minutes on the phone about his career and all of that. My dad was a huge Gene Watson fan. He passed away in 2013. So the whole time, that's running through my head. And when he hung up, the last thing he said to me was, we'll be playing in East Texas quite a lot this year. You come say hi to me and shake my hand.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sir, I will do that. Hung up the phone and I ran out of the studio screaming like a little girl.
Really?
And she thought, my girlfriend thought that like something had gone wrong or maybe there was a disconnect on the phone or something. No, I was just letting out all that energy.
Well, I'll be sitting around the corner to see if you do that when I leave.
Oh, I will. I have it taped now, so I don't even have to do it anymore.
Okay.
I just push play and it's me screaming like a girl and then I don't lose all that energy.
Right.
It's just being energy efficient.
Yep, that's it there.
So where can people find you online? Do you have a website? I know you have a Facebook.
We do have a website, www.toddfreemanandbulletproof.com.
Is that with an ampersand or A-N-D?
Spell out and.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, on Facebook, Todd Freeman and Bulletproof. You can find us there. We also have a Reverb Nation page that we use, but we don't use it a lot, but we do our own there too. Then my personal, Facebook page, Todd Freeman.
And you'll have to click follow.
Yeah, you have to click follow because I'm unfortunately maxed out at.
It took me 12 months to get on his Facebook.
Yes, but please go like our Facebook page, our Bulletproof page.
Absolutely. Bulletproof. And I don't think Todd Freeman's name is on that. I think it's just Bulletproof.
Just Bulletproof, but if you punch in Todd Freeman and Bulletproof, it'll still pop the whole thing.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And you guys don't use Twitter or Instagram or?
No, we ain't started
getting into that. No YouTube?
Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would be an important
Todd Freeman and Bulletproof.
I think out of all the videos I've posted on YouTube, I think you guys have the most views.
Oh yeah.
Out of all my videos.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's cool.
Thank you. That was what was
maybe
the name
you need
of
to put more
Direct
of it.
Connect, I think. Was the name of
Direct
that song?
Connect. Yeah.
I had not heard that song before when I heard you sing it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a cool song.
Yeah. And I like watching them dance to that because there's two different tempo changes in that song. So it's kind of neat. They'll get out there and start and then we speed it up, and then they're having to. Yeah. So it's a really cool.
So you guys out there, make sure you check out Todd Freeman and Bulletproof on Facebook, Reverb Nation, YouTube,
and our website,
and the website, which is toddfreemanandbulletproof.com.
Right.
And you guys can check out where he's going to be. Again, you fans out there, if you want to help him out, contact the venues, both on phone and through social media. Even if he doesn't use Twitter or Instagram, if you guys out there do, a lot of venues do, tag him in it.
That's right.
Keep tagging. Another good thing you guys can do is if there's a Todd Freeman video that you guys like, tag a venue in it.
Exactly.
And believe me,
we will come to a state near you. I promise you, if you will call these places and do this stuff.
Yep. And just guys out there, I know you guys are big fans of Todd's. Keep supporting. I know he appreciates it so much.
Absolutely.
I can't imagine what it would be like to have that kind of fan base, man.
That's really
so congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
Once again, congratulations on all your nominations this year.
Thank you very much.
Including for Mr. Crenshaw out there.
Right.
For Fiddle Player of the Year. 8 nominations. That's incredible. I hope you guys will be at the awards.
We're hoping to be there, yeah.
You better be there. Come say hi. We're going to take pictures in front of the red carpet. Whatever that thing is hanging on the wall.
Right.
So you guys, once again, we want to thank you for listening and tuning in to ETX Rocks. We want to thank Neil's Guitars and More once again here in Kilgore, Texas. And this sponsors episode, award-winning author Edward Hancock II. And we want to thank Todd again. Remember to support your local music, and ETX rocks.
We are ETX Rocks!